Hello YouTube, in this video I'm going to be making the GingerDead Man. It's a really easy sculpt, so if you're new to sculpting, give it a go. It's really quite straightforward. So I just took some 2mm aluminium wire. I just made this very basic armature. 2mm aluminium wire is really easy to bend, so you can just twist it around itself and just get this basic overall shape. If you haven't seen the movie The GingerDead Man, it's sort of one of those movies that's so bad it's good. It's not a particularly long movie. I think it's less than an hour long. But the actual GingerDead Man is really creepy looking, really horrible thing, and I just felt that I needed to add him to my collection. Right, next step was to take some aluminium foil, just normal kitchen foil, scrumple it all up, and you're just trying to kind of get this flat man shape. I bulked it out a little bit where his belly is, a little bit where the chest is, but most of it is fairly flat. Next, I painted him with PVA glue and then added kitchen paper. It's like doing paper mache. You just build up bits of kitchen paper like this, or paper towel if you're in the US, and just build up a couple of layers, and it makes it really quite strong. If you can, use super PVA glue or wood flooring PVA glue because it's much tougher than, just the standard kids PVA. You can see that if I turn him sideways, he still maintains his kind of overall flattish shape, apart from just that bit of a bulge where his tummy is and a little bit where his chest is. Obviously, let the kitchen paper and PVA glue dry. You can use a hairdryer to make it faster. Then I switched to using MILLIPUT. If you haven't used MILLIPUT before, it's a two-part putty. You mix the two parts together in equal amounts and it sets rock hard at room temperature in about 4 hours. This is silver grey that I'm using today, but you can just use standard MILLIPUT. And I really love this technique. It's so basic. You're just rolling little kind of thin sausages of milliput, squashing them on, and just kind of using like a ball stylus tool just to soften in some of the edges. And you can see it's just very rough bumps. Put a bump in the middle where his tummy is, some where his hips are, bulges on his legs, but all of them are really rough, really awful looking. I've added some fingers, I've added bumps on his hands and more ridges on his arms. All of this is going to be kind of hidden underneath another layer of kitchen paper and PVA glue. Right, all of the finer details have also been done with Milliput, but I'm not going to be going over the top of his face with any PVA glue and kitchen paper. This is just the Milliput. So you can see I worked, so I did his tongue and his teeth, and then I built the gums, and then I built the upper lip and the lower lip, and gradually kind of worked forward on the face. Same with the eyes. I built the eyebrow ridges. I actually left his actual eyes until the very end. I left them as two kind of hollows. And then I just had a couple of balls of standard milliput that I just squashed in to some kind of eyelids. That gives the overall shape. Loads of wrinkles. They can be added very gradually. These three buttons down the front here. I did obviously the collar, the bow tie, and these sort of cuffs as well. Can you see where I went over all of the ridges and bumps and things that I'd added with Milliput originally with some kitchen paper and PVA, and they all kind of smooth out. I've added a bit more on the back of his head as well, just to round off his head a little bit, make it a little bit thicker. And I've added a little bit extra on the feet, just where there were a couple of hollow spaces that were a bit too hollow. I'm not particularly bothered about the back of the figure at all and how that looks because I'm going to stand him so you'll only ever view him from the front. It saves quite a lot of time trying to add extra details to his back. I think you'll agree he's starting to look really quite sinister, even at this stage where I haven't painted him at all yet. So you just want to be spending more time obviously on his face than anything else. He's got these really strong angled eyebrow ridges. That's what makes him look kind of angry. So you need to try and sculpt those particularly well. And the big teeth, they're worth sculpting and spending a bit of time on. All of the little thin ridges and things, you can just put quite a large amount of milliput on and then just push into the milliput to get the ridges. Right, the first painting stage, he really blends in with my cabinet here, but basically I've used a colour called raw sienna, and I just did that over the whole thing. I've literally covered all of him with raw sienna. I'm using System 3 acrylic paints for all of the painting stages on this. Quite often when I'm painting a figure, I paint them dark first and then I gradually build up the brighter colours on top. On this one, I decided to go with the mid-tone colour first, and then I will brighten from here. But also, because he's a gingerbread, he's going to be sort of burnt around the edges, so I'm going to be adding quite a bit of black later on. Right, I don't know if you can tell much difference here, but I've gone in with a lighter colour, which is called yellow ochre, and I've just basically dry brushed over the top surface. If you haven't done dry brushing before, it's where you hardly have any paint on your brush. You dab it on a bit of paper towel until the brush is almost dry, and then you just dust it over all of the higher surfaces. So it just makes it look like the light is catching all of the bumps and the ridges. It gives him a much more three-dimensional appearance, which is particularly important when you're doing a figure that is pretty flat. I think at every single painting stage of this that I did, he got creepier and creepier. You'll just have to see as we go along, see if you agree with me. Right, so to get the effect of him looking like a biscuit, it's important to make him look like he's singed a bit around the edge. So I mixed up a colour using cadmium red and emerald green just to get a darkish brown. And again, I've just dry brushed that over all of the kind of edges. I've done a little bit in, you can see like around the eyebrow ridge, inside the sort of eye sockets, and on the lips. And I think that makes a huge difference. I've done it down his buttons as well. I know at this stage that I've got to go even darker still and add some black. You can spread the brown paint quite a long way, really, because you know that when you put the black paint on, you won't spread it quite so far. I hope you all agree he's looking much more kind of biscuity now, but also obviously all of these dark brown areas are along edges and things, so they make all of the highlight areas really stand out more on the sort of bumps. So if we turn him around here, you can see obviously on the head at the back, I did the same sort of thing. I did like a blend from the edge of the head coming into the middle, just gradually getting lighter. I've done a bit under his collar, I've done a bit down the side of his body on both sides, and his legs as well, and his arms. Right, I'll turn him back around, and if you sort of focus on his buttons and keep looking at them tonally, you'll notice hopefully here that it changes and it gets a bit darker. That's all you really notice. I've added black now. I've gone around his lips. I've gone back into his eye sockets and added some down the buttons. It's basically what I did a minute ago with the brown. I've done exactly the same again, but I haven't spread it quite as far in. So you get that blend from black to dark brown to raw sienna to yellow ochre. I then decided to give him another coat of PVA glue. I'll just show you this bit on his head. This is what it looks like obviously when the glue is still wet. And it's white glue, and obviously it dries transparent, and I'm obviously going to paint the whole figure. At the moment you can see I've only done the front bit of his face, but I thought I'd pause and show you, because this next stage is with the glue over the whole body, and you can see it's almost dry but not quite. Still just a little bit opaque. You can see it looks a little bit white in some areas, so it's not fully transparent yet, but you can see it gives it a slight shine over the whole figure. The cool thing about adding a layer of PVA glue like this is that it protects your paint. So if you were to scrape your figure against a wall or something like that, it's not going to rub the paint off. It really protects it. Obviously, I spent a bit of time painting other parts of him as well. So I did his collar and I did his cuffs. That was just using a little bit of the yellow ochre mixed with white to get that sort of creamy colour. I've added some red to his bow tie. His teeth I've done again with yellow ochre and quite a bit more white to make them a bit lighter. I did the same with his eyes and just put little black dots in the centre of his eyes. And I think you'll agree he's really, really quite horrible looking. I think when I put this guy in my conservatory with all my other creatures, I'm going to be a bit freaked out if I go in there at night. It's kind of freaky enough already with some of my other creatures looking at me, but this guy in particular, really sinister looking, I think he's definitely going to freak me out. By the way, if you're a regular watcher of my channel, you've probably been wondering why I haven't done any sculpting videos for quite a while. And it's because I actually have been sculpting, but it's behind the scenes. It's a special project that I'm working on at the moment. And when he's finished, I'll do a video on him and I'll get it out onto YouTube so you can see it. But in the meantime, I've put up quite a few kind of toy collecting videos and things instead because they're a bit quicker to do. And obviously this particular sculpt, he was a really fast one. He was only like a 2-day project. So I was able to kind of do him in between doing this other special project that I'm doing. If you're new to my channel, particularly if this is the first video of mine you've ever seen, I basically make loads of movie creatures. Like the weirder the better. Some of them, like this one that I'm doing today, are really quite obscure and they're quite often from, like I say, movies that are so bad that they're good. I make a lot of things like gremlins and critters, and they're all my sort of, favorite kind of creatures to make. But I've done all kinds. I've done like ET, loads of stuff from Star Wars, things from the Alien movies, just Slimer, that kind of thing. So yeah, check out all of those videos if you get a chance. I also grew up in the 80s, so I'm collecting back a lot of my old 80s toys. So if you also grew up in the 80s, if you want a bit of a nostalgia hit, check out some of my 80s toy videos. Just before I show you this guy with all of his glue completely dry and how he looks completely finished, I just wanted to mention that I'm going to be doing a show at Birmingham NEC. It's on the 16th and 17th of May and it's called Makers Central. I'm going to be taking pretty much every creature that I've ever made, well, as many as I can fit into this absolutely massive van. I'm going to take them all with me. I'm going to set them all up. So if you happen to be in the area at the time, come and have a look at all of my creatures in the flesh, so to speak. They look amazing when they're all in one place together. Right, this is what he looks like completely finished. I think you'll agree, he's turned out alright. Just for a 2-day project, I'm pretty chuffed with him. Let me know what you think in the comments, but also if there are any other creatures that you would like me to make. I've got a big list that I'm working through, and if they happen to be on my list, I'm more likely to make that one in the near future. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Hit subscribe to see anything that I post up in the future. A massive thanks to MILLIPUT because they sponsor my channel and they send me free MILLIPUT from time to time. MILLIPUT will also be going to Makers Central show, so come along and have a look at their stand as well and get yourself some MILLIPUT. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next video.